I hear the voices of the grandmothers calling me. I hear the voices of the grandmothers calling me. Wake up, wake up. They say, wake up, wake up. Listen, listen. Listen, listen. May the rivers all run clear. May the mountains be unspoiled. May the trees grow tall. May the air be pure. May the earth be shared by all. Good morning, my friends. It's Sunday Morning Tea and Tarot. I'm Valerie Friend. You can find me at valeriefriend.com and on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and on Patreon, where you can support the work. We'll put a link in the comments. So if you're called right now, like and share the video or start a watch party, because that's fun. Who is here? Hello, Shanine, and Renee Michelle is here. Jessica, yay. And Alicia. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Linda and Alexandra and Morgan Jones. I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. Hey, Dora. And hi, Mary and Taryn. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. Who else? Hey, Lisa and Mary Jane and Tammy's here. Oh, I'm loving seeing all of you people here this morning. You'll get it as we go through this, but I am so glad to be with you this morning. So glad. Hello, Angela. Thank you for Wednesdays. And Tamara Jean, good morning. Carla, Shannon, Samaj, hello. Shannon Arnold is here. Good morning, Monica. Monica Gona, are you new? We'd love to know if you're new. Or sorry if I'm forgetting. And Jackie, good morning, good morning. Hello, wow, I'm so glad to see all of you. We are in the final moments of this new moon in Aquarius. And I have, this morning, I was really getting the energy of this final clearing away of all that dredge from hermiting season. Aim?
Take a breath. I know you're excited.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll.
Keep up, people. If you haven't had the caffeine, put your sneakers on because she's ramped up and ready to rock.
It's a big message, okay? I know I say that, but it really is. So it's been a really deep descent into this underworld, this hermiting season. All of you astrology lovers out there, the eclipse season and Capricorn and all that stuff that went down, it was a deep dive. And I want to share a little bit about how it impacted my work, So I spent a lot of time over December and January revisiting an old compulsion of mine. And that's the one that says, this is how you're supposed to do it, as opposed to, this is what you're meant to do. And, my negativity bias was activated in a way that I do not enjoy, but I participated in it fully. So in case you were thinking that I'm the guru that heals, no. I'm on the path with you, darlings. I am on the sacred path with you, alongside you, sometimes behind you, sometimes in front of you, always connected. But sometimes, my path is rocky and bumpy. And this negativity bias gets called out over and over again. And it reminds me why I work on the lived remembering. Negativity is a symptom for me, and I always need to get curious about it and figure it out. But first, sometimes I have to descend into it and participate in it once again so that I can get back to basics. And maybe you're feeling that too. I would love to know if you're feeling that as well, because, you know, it's a sticky area. You know, sometimes there's muck and mud in the underworld. Sometimes it gets deep on our boots. I personally needed hip waders. But yeah, so here it is. Hey, Dorothy and Martial. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Julie Edwards. Hey. I miss people. Oh, Monica says, not new, just haven't been able to catch you live. I hear crazy busy. We've all been crazy busy. Hey, Sin. Good morning. Good morning. So anyhow, this is, you know, part of this connects to why I don't do New Year's resolutions on January 1st, because they're not really ripe until Imbolc. You know, Imbolc means belly, like the deep belly, your, you know, sacral chakra energy. Everything is pregnant with possibilities at Imbolc. You know, the full moon this month is called the bone moon sometimes, because we're also, you know, in ancient times, this was when you were really, really hungry and you're down to the bones and you're boiling the bones to get any nutrition that you can out of them, because it's the hungry times. But hunger awakens new ideas, new possibilities, new practices. And I'm wondering what it would mean for us to all be a little more spiritually hungry right now. Like, fortunately, most of us are not experiencing actual physical hunger right now. You know, we have evolved in this way to where, at least here on Tea and Tarot and our communities, we mostly don't have to deal with that bone-crushing hunger. But it doesn't mean we're not hungry, okay? So I'm just saying. So next Saturday, I'm going to do a live Imbolc guided journey into potential and hope and optimism for the new moon in, or the full moon, no, for Imbolc. Sorry, lost it there for a minute because I read Moon Meditations and then got on a moon journey there. In Moon Meditation Sacred Circle. So maybe if you haven't joined our $16 a month Patreon level, this might be the day. And as we head into prayer on this blessed journey into the season of anticipation, Aquarius season, let's take a moment to just return to ourselves. You know, I was so happy to return to myself this morning. And really, like, seriously, it just fell together for me this morning. It's probably not all there yet, but at least that, like, that belly is calling to me. Loving ourselves as the mother loves us. Let's just let that be the key to the portals of Imbolc. As we emerge from the underworld, we might be a little road weary. We may be shaken and confused, but we can turn our faces to the light, the blessed light, the release that is falling into her arms, letting her catch you, letting the sacred hold you, the eternal hope. Breathe that into your deep belly. Take it down, lower and lower, feet on the ground. Connect to the source, the sacred. As we open the channel of divine love and light to bring forth this message for Sunday morning tea and tarot, I ask our guides, angels, light beings, and ancestors to show up, surround us with love and protection, and bring forth messages that are clear, concise, and actionable, delivered for our highest good in perfect love and perfect trust. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Okay, I did slow down a little bit. I guess I needed to pray. Maybe you need like a little sign you could just hold up for me that says, shut up and pray.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
I love you, honey. Who jumped on? Nithya is here. Good
Fatima?
morning.
Fatima?
Fatima is here.
They're saying good afternoon, so is somewhere.
Oh, somewhere in the afternoon.
Somewhere east of us.
Hi, Lori Leonard and Amanda and David came on during prayer. And Eliza Peterson is here. Thank you for everything over hermiting season. So appreciative. Venus is here. Going to talk to you later. Who else? Who else?
Cheryl Estabrook Salter.
Cheryl Salter, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Carla, breathing into the belly by the ocean. Do you know that I put ocean water in my my goddess this morning? Atlantic. I know you're Pacific Ocean, but I put a little Atlantic Ocean water in here with a little bit of rosemary oil for remembrance, because we're gonna get right into it here. I feel like it's a big message. Amy and I already talked, and we decided that if we have to run over today to do card pulls and get everything in, we're gonna do it. So we're here with you. We're gonna stay with you a little longer than usual if we need to. So make sure you put comments and questions in the feed, because you know, I missed you and I need you this morning.
And I just gotta say, this is an important message today, and there may be some language and terms that I know I don't get, and I'm gonna stop you and say, "What's that, Valerie?"
Okay.
Is that all right?
It's perfectly okay.
And can we invite other people to do that too? Please don't be shy.
Absolutely. If there's something you don't get, if there's something I say that you don't understand, ask the question and we'll get you the answer, okay? And if everybody could help monitor the feed so Amy's not wing witching on her own today, that would be super helpful as well. All right, so if you're new here, certainly let us know in the feed. But this is how it works. The group energy reading is broken down into 3 sections. The swirl, what is active energetically around us? The path, how we're going to work with it this week. And the illumination, or where is the aha potential? Okay? So that's the framework we're operating in, but ask all the questions today, okay? I am working with the Wildwood Tarot, and before we get started on the message, I just want to put a plug in for this deck. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek, because our first card in the swirl is the Ancestor, and it's the card on the cover of the deck. This deck is amazing. It's impeccable for timing. And as I connect to my ancestral roots that lie in Celtic mysticism and Druidry, this deck really speaks to me. You might not have that energetic ley line for yourself, but it's the one that my channel speaks through. So, the other thing I love about this deck is the timing markers. Guess where the Ancestor sits on the Wheel of the Year? Guess? In your head. Nobody will know if you're right or wrong. Right at Imbolc. The Ancestor sits at Imbolc. It's the call of Imbolc. It's the beating of the drum of potential. She stands between the 2 birches, beating the drum. This is a call to journeying and shamanic experiences. This is the wild one's call. We are at the gateway, the portal, the cosmic opening, the conception, the birth canal of new life, new energy, all of that. We have arrived at the entrance to the labyrinth, my friends. And we may not be sure we want to go back in. Because what follows is the Ace of Bows reverse. Ryan and Matthews named this the Spark of Life. And then the King of Bows reversed. And this is the Adder. Okay? So what this is saying to me is you're at the gateway of new life. Not a revamped edition, but out of alignment edition of your old crap, okay? Who are you and what do you represent, all right? That's what's standing in your way. That's what's standing between you and the great calling back to your lived remembering. This is what's standing between you and your deep belly potential. Where has your sacred flame gone out? Where have you participated or colluded in your own lived forgetting? For very toxic reasons, very human and understandable and reasonable, yet toxic, drawings. How our fires can go dim. That's just the reality. And we need to rekindle the sacred flame. That's what's happening at Imbolc. Hold on, Amy's looking confused.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good?
Yep.
Okay. I was called to ask this morning, where are we spending time tearing each other down, calling each other out, raging against the machine at the expense of following our sacred path? All right? Yes, it's all terribly unfair. Yes, it is all a cluster. FYI, tea and tarot can be a little sweary. You might want to put your earbuds in at this moment. It's all terribly out of alignment. And yes, we still get to choose to remember our sacred journey, our commitment to our soul's contract, our authenticity, and our individual ley lines, the pathways. This card is Ellen of the Ways. And if you haven't explored Ellen of the Ways as a deity or goddess, she is a keeper of the migration paths of reindeer, the ancient pathways and ley lines. She's definitely worth a dive into the realm of who's guiding me right now. Ellen is a sacred messenger for me. Who's yours? Who's your sacred messenger? Have you had a conversation with them lately? Because they're the ones who lead us to the personal and collective remembering. Not this bullshit. Not at all. All right? So let me just take you a little bit deeper. So you're standing at the start of the labyrinth, and maybe you've had a little negativity bias going on like I have, and you're like, oh, same shit, different day. Oh, look at that corporatocracy dressed up in a really hip package. What do I need to buy to earn my way to enlightenment? Those kind of things. Big for me, big. But we're standing at the entrance of the labyrinth and we're like, really? That's your sacred flame? That measly little distorted toxic bullshit light is your sacred flame? Think about it. Think about it. Where's the ley line? Where is the opening? Where is the drum beating deep in your belly? Who are you? What are your values? What means something to you? What is the thing that when you think about it, lifts you into this like, oh, hell no, you don't get to steal that from me. I'm going to direct my fire. I will kindle my sacred flame. And I will do it in alignment with my values. I will do it in alignment with my sacred self. I will do it with the authority of the sovereign. And I will create some awesome shit. Okay? So that's like the invitation. Getting these two energies up right this week is our mission. It's our mission. You know, told you it was a big message. So let's look at the path. First card out in the path is this Two of Arrows, and Ryan and Matthews labeled this card Injustice. Okay? And if, you know, traditional tarot lovers, this is like being on that precipice of choice and decisions and needing to make a choice, not hover in the murky gray area of rationalization, but really choosing who you are and what you came here to do. Ryan and Matthews in the companion book to this deck call this false, in the upright position, false conclusions and unjust decisions. And this week we're being asked to release that. We don't have to forgive anybody. You know, if that's not where you are, you do not have to do any forgiveness work today. Good news. But we do have to let them go and get on with things, right? We are still at the opening of the labyrinth. We do need to go in again or choose to like run away and, you know, participate in our old bullshit.
Fuck you very much. I'm moving on.
I love you, honey. Yeah, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. And you can be mad about it. You can be sad about it. You can be, you know, disappointed. You can be enraged. You can be fired up. But, you know, you have to choose to move. Let me say, though, if you are doing a lot of pointing outward right now at all them who are making everything miserable, then you're not, you know, you're doing a little bit of lying to yourself, because we all collude in this on some level. You know, I don't care if you are a goddamn saint. You know, you collude from time to time. You do. So don't lie to yourself this week. You know, be honest, be authentic, be real. You know, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're a human operating on a worldly plane, and you're trying to find your spiritual balance, your spiritual balance. It doesn't mean that you have to be a love and light doormat. You know, oh, I'm just going to be nice to everyone, and I'm just going to have a positive attitude all the time. No, it doesn't mean that, because sometimes that's inauthentic. But it does mean that we need to channel the energy of our individual and collective remembered selves. We need to join together with the ley lines of those who are equally seeking an authentic path. It doesn't mean they will always agree with us or that we will always agree with them, but we do have to respect their authenticity. And she's asking us, who are you? You won't get an answer to this by sifting through your old wounds one more time. We did that at the beginning of hermiting season. We did that work after Samhain, as we headed towards Yule. We called in the light. We've been pointed. We've been guided. Now, what do you authentically represent? What exists in your deep belly, in the pure potential of Imbolc? Next card on the path, the wheel. This is the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot. This is the weaver of fate. All right, look at the loom. We have to welcome change. We are called to bravely re-enter the karmic wheel and pick up the goddamn shuttle. Okay, do you know what a shuttle is? It's this little piece right here. So I want to explain a little bit here. I did a little loom symbolism research this morning. It was a deep dive early this morning, I gotta tell you. And it was worth it. It was worth it. I'm so jazzed about this. So the loom is a symbol of cosmic creation. This is from Wikipedia. The loom is a symbol of cosmic creation and the structure upon which individual destiny is woven. So let me show you the card, and I want to explain this a little bit. Think about the threads running this way are karma. This is fate. This is what the world hands to you as a result of the soul contract that you made. Like on the other side, before you came into this body, you said, this is the life that's going to teach me the lessons that I need to learn this time around. Now I want you to think about the threads that run this way, because they are the ones that the shuttle carries. All right. This is how you weave your individual ley lines through the framework of fate. In Mayan cultures, the goddess Ixchel, who is symbolized by the moon, taught the first woman how to weave at the beginning of time. Okay? Does anybody else have goosebumps right now? Because I do. The wheel represents the eternal cycles of karma. I see these as ley lines, the ley lines of circumstances. I believe in our highest knowing that this was indeed the right vehicle to learn our lessons, to resolve karma, both individually and collectively. You know, it's all part of the fabric. When Amy and I were talking about this morning, I'm like, this is the matrix, okay? You know, there's a reason why we like these, these epic stories, you know, because it's the hero's journey. You have to choose to step back into the labyrinth one more time.
Amanda says for the Egyptian magic, it's, I don't know how to say it, Neith, N-E-I-T-H.
Neith.
Neith.
I think. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Put some stuff, if you're called, Amanda, will you put some stuff up on Neith? I would like to see that. Last card in the path is the pole star reverse. Guess where the pole star sits on the wheel of the year? I bet you can. Imbolc, okay? The wheel sits at Mabon, by the way, you know, so that harvest time that is looming out in front of us, that's where the wheel sits. The pole star sits at Imbolc. It sits with the ancestor. It represents the new moon phase, which we are finishing up right now as we speak. The new moon phase is starting to go into her build, her wax. This also offers the energy of a gateway between earth and air. You know, if you're an elemental person, that's sort of what you're working with right now. Capricorn to Aquarius. It's the gateway. So the question of pure potential is posed this week. Will you choose your journey? Will you choose your lived remembering? Will you choose your shamanic rebirthing, your kundalini awakening? Where are your ley lines? Who the fuck are you? And what did you come here to do? Because we really need you to do that. Okay? We need you. Not want you. Although maybe we want you to too. But we need you to do that. I'm choking myself up, honey. So I want you to look at the pole star upright, okay? This is the star in the east. This is like, there it is, you know? But honestly, you have to believe it. You have to believe it because you might not see it with your earthly eyes right now. You just have to believe that that pull is actually your remembered self saying, come on into the labyrinth. Come on in. All right? The star reversed can be a lack of faith, a lack of hope, you know, a negativity bias based on some worldly bullshit, based on a dwindling flame, based on a lack of listening to the beating of your own heart. Deep in your belly, listen to your call. Okay? That's what we want. That's what we want to take to the gateway. The illumination. So a pip card came out first. 6 of bows, abundance. Bows on the wheel of the year is at summer. You know, it's the whole season of summer. So solstice until Mabon, that's where this energy sits and rules the wheel of the year. You know, this is the blessing of potential. You know, you have to see the abundance in your soul space, in your deep belly, on the astral plane. You need to hold out the flame, the sacred fire. I want you to look at this next to the spark of life, that little tiny initiation, the spark that catches fire. And then look at it here, ablaze, honored by the wands around it. Wands are the suit of action. You know, you just have to start doing it. Because the major arcana that followed, and I think it was like 3 cards deep, is the Guardian reversed. All right, this is the devil in traditional tarot, by the way. By the by, do not return to your misery. Do not abandon yourself out of fear and false judgments. That 2 of arrows, you know, it is what it is. Whatever went down, it is what it is, okay? Now, who are you going to be in it? Now, who are you? You have to pick up that shuttle and weave. All right? Helpful hint. You are not your egoic knee-jerk response. That is not your remembered self. You got to take that deeper. You got to take it into the deep belly. You know, in a worldly sense, this is going to be risky. It is. There's no entering the labyrinth without risk, you know. If you want to, you can just throw your little shuttle down on the ground. I'm just going to let fate drag me through my life. I'm going to let my my sacred flame be a sputtering little, you know, lackluster nothing. Sorry, a little bit harsh there. And I'm going to let the toxic take hold and command my creative life force. You know, you can do it. You can do it. But the guardian reversed is saying, do not resist the lessons. Do not be drawn back into those false illusions. We have to believe it before we see it. We have to stare down the scary monster and say, no, I'm going in. It's like in the Harry Potter books. Remember the Bogarts, when you would open up the chest and the Bogart would come up, and it's the thing you fear the most. And then you have to declare it ridiculous. Okay? No, you don't get me. Not this time. All right? We have to believe it before we see it, and it's fucking hard because we have earth eyes and we need to see with our deep belly right now. So I got to tell you guys, I recently took this serious detour into what the world thinks that people like me are supposed to be doing right now. And my Bogart, my deep lie, took the form of YouTube, okay? And it felt horrible. It felt absolutely horrible. Recording every one of those videos was excruciating for me. And it's not like that for me. I don't feel like that on Sunday morning tea and tarot. I never feel like that on Sunday morning tea and tarot. But I dreaded every second of it. Amy would have to like talk me into it. And let me tell you, YouTube was not Amy's idea. No, I was like, this is what people are doing now. This is where I have to go. This is the new frontier. And it felt so crappy. I started making this story up saying, you're just not good at this, you know? And then it went deeper. It was like this. See, I want you to imagine the guardian, the scary monster at the gateway, you know, sort of standing between me and the ancestor. Look at those portals, guys. Look at that. So the scary beast was saying to me, see, you're not meant to bring the message. You just thought you were something, and you're really not much of anything. And then it hit me where I live. And it was like, I might get choked up, guys. In fact, I am. The deep message was, you can't even fix your own fucking family. And you're going to try to tell people how to align with their soul's contract. And yeah, it was hard. It was horrible. But you know what? Here's the thing. It brought me back to the ancestor. It brought me back to the grandmother. It brought me back to that moment when I was standing in Red Rock Canyon and the grandmothers were saying, all you have to do is show up and we will point you. We will guide you. We will give you the words. We will help you do this. And I'm sorry. I feel like I have to apologize to all of you for my little ego detour. Not that I'm beating myself up about it or anything, because, you know, that's part of this. I did that. That's part of this, not doing it anymore. But I'm telling you this, I'm taking it back to basics. You know, I think that we will probably download TN Tarot and put it up on YouTube and see if anybody watches it. That will be great. If there are things that feel aligned with that channel that I organically want to locate there, that will be great. But there's no more you should do this because this is what people like you do. And oh, by the way, you suck at it. So, probably you should just quit everything. Now, I'm going to step up to the entrance of the labyrinth again, and I'm going to do what I do. So I've got some announcements for offerings that will be coming out. They're going to be very old school for us. But that's the message this week, guys. It's a big one. Where is the drum beating for you right now? How has your sacred flame grown low, been left untended? What are the obnoxious, pompous, hubris stories that toxicity is telling you? How are you putting them on and wearing them yourself? And how are you pointing your finger and blaming others as well? Both things. People do crappy shit, and you participate in crappy shit. And you know what? People do generative shit, and you do generative shit. Both. Let's try to do more generative shit this week, okay? Because, yep, it's unfair. We don't have to forgive, but we got to get on with things. Pick up the shuttle. Weave your destiny among the ley lines. And please, let your guidance system direct you. Feel it in your deep belly. Because you got to stare down the monsters to get to that abundant feeling. You got to stare them down. You got to look them in the eyes and say, ridiculous. Okay? That's what I've got for us today. So I want to hear all about what you think of it, questions that you have. And while Amy is lining up card pulls today, I want to tell you about some offerings. Number one, I am doing Celtic Cross readings to inspire your return to the labyrinth. Almost all of us have seen Celtic Cross spreads in every single tarot book, practically. Like it's an old standard. It's my ley lines. Celtic mysticism is my jam. I'm going to be using the Wildwood Tarot for these readings. So here's the deal. They're $66, and you can have them in Zoom meeting format. You can do it by phone. You can have an email reading if that's your preferred framework. Or you can come to my house in person. And we'll do a reading here, face to face. So that's out there. And I want to tell you, I'm going to be doing, if she will accept, I want to do a Celtic Cross spread for Kelly Sardella, because this morning she posted something that was just so freaking brave that I want to support her journey on these ley lines. So Kelly, if you're here this morning, I want to do a Celtic Cross spread for you. And the other Celtic Cross related front, I'm going to be doing a Zoom meeting session on learning the Celtic Cross. My version, my tact, my way, or my interpretation. I got a little big sister bossy there for a second. So this is going to be a sliding scale offering, $33 to $44, depending on what you can afford. It's going to happen on Saturday, February 15th from 1 to 3 p.m. approximately. We might go a little over depending on how many questions people have, because the Q&A period I think is super helpful. So there's that. Those two things are happening for everybody. For my local circle, we are doing a full moon in Leo self-love ritual and potluck dinner here at the SpiritWings space on February 8th. We ask for a $10 donation. It's requested but not required. So if you can be here, don't let $10 get in the way. All right? So those things are on the agenda. I also want to offer a Celtic cross spread to Tasia. I don't know if she's on this morning. I didn't see her name, but I'll reach out to her, because during this whole foray into YouTube and really doing something that did not feel authentic to me, Tasia sent me a message and said, you know, I love everything that you do, but this just doesn't feel like you. I'm paraphrasing here. She said it very kindly and very sweetly and in a way I could hear it. But she said, like, you know, we don't need like a stage situation. All we need is the message. And holy crap, it just cracked me open. So Tasia, I'm going to share the video with you today, and I want you to come and get a Celtic cross spread on me. Okay? All right, those are the offerings. We're going to get into card pulls. I want to hear everything that you're thinking, feeling. I want to answer questions. We're going to stay here for a while and make sure we get some good messages for folks. I have 3 decks. I have the Modern Witch. Lisa Sterling is the author illustrator of this deck. I have the Tarot of Trees by Dana O'Driscoll in honor of my Druid heritage. And Amy really wanted the Good Tarot today, but my Good Tarot deck is not complete because I burned up the Empress in that deck. Not completely, just a little, and it was an accident.
I was going to say,
it wasn't intentional.
Did she like piss you off?
She didn't. I was using her for magic. My candle burned down low and set her on fire a little bit. And I have a traditional deck if anybody's into that, but I have no oracle text today. I don't know. If somebody needs an oracle deck, you can request that. But let's talk.
Okay, how about Alexandra Fultz?
Alexandra Fultz, yes.
She says she's been caught up in a huge mess with a group that she volunteers with, but she took the high path and brought things to light that needed to be known. She made the right decisions of the next steps that she's taken since.
Okay, so Alexandra, that sounds like a yes or no question. Did you make the right decision? And for that one, I want you to put your hands right on your belly right now. And I want you to tune into that energy that caused you to do the things that you did. Was it in alignment, or does it feel out of alignment?
Oh, Shawneen is recommending a Modern Witch Tarot for Alexandra.
It's exactly what I've got, Shawneen. So Shawneen is psychic, in case any of you were wondering. So Alexandra, hands on your deep belly. Let's get some more information about this. Let's dig deep into this. And what I'm getting for you is that you saw things that were not generative. They were not nurturing. They were not feeding the soul space of the situation. In fact, I'm getting a sense of some greed, some ego, some competition. Oh, I do this so well. You know, you should be as good as me kind of energy. Followed by, you know, stirring the pot a little bit. You know, that 5 of Wands energy and saying, no, wait a minute, that just doesn't really feel right to me. Now, what I'm hearing for you, Alexandra, is maybe you could have done it a little cleaner. Maybe you could have not waited so long until you became absolutely on edge with the situation. Maybe you could have intervened a little sooner and not had to stir the pot so vigorously, but you did what you had to do. That's the answer that I'm getting. So maybe as you're down there deep in your sacral chakra area, you could say to, like, how could I have done this better? You know, yes, it was necessary, but how could I have done a better job with staying in my own integrity the whole time? Why do I let things get to this point where it's like draining the life force before I'm willing to stir the pot a little bit? Where are the fears? Where is the monster that says, oh, you don't really need to say anything about that. You know, everybody's going to be mad about it. And you just, I'm sensing that a little quicker to address your, you know, what's right for you would make this situation better the next time around. The next time through the labyrinth, maybe you don't let it get so crappy before you do something about it. Okay? All right. Who else, babe?
I'm looking back.
Help, wing witches, help.
Some great comments on here.
Vivian says, your card pull last year got me in my journey to move forward and would like a card pull today. Absolutely. And Vivian, I'm really feeling this, this Tarot of Trees this morning for you. Ooh, and there it is. And what I've got is the Queen of Cups reversed. And I'm immediately hearing this energy of, I have given way too much. I have not been nurturing myself. I have been putting myself at the bottom of the list. My cup is empty. When the cup is upright in this card, you can see the beautiful tree in full leaf surrounding the emotional fullness. Queen of Cups is that guardian that sits at the western gate. She sits between the worlds. She uses her intuition. She uses her heart space for herself as well as others to create the fertile environment for wholeness, well-being, emotional fulfillment, the gifts of the heart space. But when you always leave yourself at the end of the list, you get drained and then you get resentful. And then you can get a little emotionally overwhelmed. You can feel swamped with everybody else's energy. This is speaking to me a lot of an empath who needs to do a really good protection ritual or have a practice of protection so that you can stay grounded and centered and not get swamped by the emotions, the needs, the little hungry baby birds are like, feed me, feed me. You have to feed yourself first. All right? That's what I have for you, sweetie. I hope it's helpful.
Okay, how about
Nithya.
Krishnan?
Uh-huh.
She asks, I just need help with clarity moving on from an issue from my past that looks me in the face every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so number one, there's no new answers right now in the old wounds. Okay, so is it looking you in the face every day, or is that the face of being addicted to your wounds? Sorry, that sounds so sharp, and let me soften it for you, because what we're asking for right now is to walk into the portal of newness. Okay? You don't remember the message. You don't have to forgive. You just have to move on. You just have to say, that's ridiculous that still enslaves me. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm going to go to the traditional deck, Nithya. And there we go. First thing. Take it into that deep belly. Okay. So the answers are on the other side of the illusions. You know, the Seven of Cups is the card of illusions, participating in the illusions, the confusion. If it's confusing, it's not the right way for you right now. All you're focusing on is what feels like the sun, what feels warm and welcoming. You know, not rehashing, not going back over it for the umpteenth time. You know, if there is learning in that stuff, it will be brought to you in a healed perspective. Super vulnerable work, Nithya. You know, all the naked cards. You're going to have to shed all the trappings of that old stuff. You're going to have to say, no, none of these cups contains anything that I want. I'm riding out of that confusion. I'm calling in the light. And just, you know, timing wise, I want you to think about this really unfolding around solstice this summer. The gateway to summer solstice, I think you're going to be feeling so much freer if you allow yourself to sort of disengage from all of these old stories and narratives, okay? I hope that's helpful. Let me know, okay?
All right. How about a card for Monica Guana?
Monica Guana, yes. I hope I'm saying your last name right. I don't know.
Yeah. She says they've been having major changes at work, and she was not chosen for promotion. Can you tell her, is she going to advance, or is she wasting her time?
Okay. Yes, I can. Or I can pull some cards and see what they have to say about it. So again, hands on the deep belly today, guys. Use, you know, your hands are your magic wands that you carry with you all the time. You direct energy. This is where we ignite our Reiki, our universal life force. Ignite it. You know, place your hands on your lower abdomen, your deep belly, and connect to the belly of the mother. Okay? This could be for you as well. Monica just asked the question for you. Okay, so what I've got for you, Monica, is this. Number one, the lovers, which is always that call to choice, choosing your authentic self. You didn't get this promotion. Maybe you felt it was yours to have. Maybe you were ambivalent about it. Who knows? But what I do know from looking at the Lover's card is that this blessed union of your remembered self is in the mix here. And now we have the Nine of Wands reversed. You know, the Nine of Wands really calls us into that energy of, I've been through some shit. I'm a little roughed up right now. You know, like I got to stand guard. I've got to be the guardian of my experience. And I think that that's true. And when it shows up reversed, I want you to think about the ways that you might be feeling a little victimized right now. You know, am I going to get ahead? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I think more will be revealed about that. But I think it's on the other side of sort of looking at the situation and saying, like, does this experience define me? What do I really want to be doing? What is in my highest good? Where does my intuition join together with my active participation in what I do for a living? And how will the blessings be lived out? I'm really feeling the energy here for the calling of the wheel. You know, fate handed you a shit sandwich right now. Or at least that's probably your perception. Because you didn't say, whew, glad I dodged a bullet on getting that promotion. No, you said I got passed up for a promotion. Okay, so that tells me you're feeling like not so great about it. What are you going to weave in between the strands of fate right now? Is it in alignment? Let that be your guide. And, you know, don't wait for someone else to provide healing right now. You really are going to have to lean into that for yourself. You know, this sounds a little mean, and I don't mean it that way, but quit telling the story of being passed up for this promotion. Start telling the story of what you want to do, what feels right for you to do right now. And you might have to sit with that for a while. You might have to do that ancestral work, that shamanic journey, that Kundalini awakening. You know, you might have to, you know, listen to Brene Brown on replay like I have to do when I'm in that space. So think about it. Don't live from the wound. You know, live from the learning, not from the victimization. All right? That's what I've got for you, sweetie. I hope it's helpful. Who's next, honey?
How about Maria Minardo?
Maria Minardo.
She says the new moon energy has called her to a new path. Could she have a card for some insight on which direction, please?
Yes. New path. Number one, anything that the ancestors are leading you to. But I'm going to pull from the Modern Witch deck for you too. And this card popped right up. Choice. You know, you've got to choose. The answer is not going to be delivered to you without choice. This was the first card in the path. Can I just say, if I can find it? Two of Swords reversed, you know? Like, you are not going to know in an earthly sense right now, but you have to choose. And maybe you're doing some of that, like, can I trust myself to choose the right thing? Can I trust myself? Can I really trust the guardian of my soul's contract to lead me in the direction of my sacred path through the labyrinth? And answer is yes. You can, but you have to choose it. You have to choose it. All right? That's what I have for you. Sorry, short and sweet, but you know, it's a good message. Go with your gut, deep belly, do the journey work, do it. And then make a choice. Stand in your light. Who's next, honey?
We have Shonina is advocating for Tammy Stamba Imas.
Tammy Stamba Imas.
She says it's the anniversary of her, I think she means her mom's passing, not her moon's passing. Holding love and space for her. Tarot of Trees, please.
Tarot of Trees. So, ooh. Ace of Pentacles. This is the manifestation card. And you know, honestly, I'm just getting the sense that you're being given a little gift right now. You know, passings are passings only from earth life. Pentacles, suit of earth life. So.
Oh, no, she says, no, my moon.
No, her moon's passing.
Her moon's passing. Okay.
Okay. Passings are you know, symbolic of earth life. I'm going to stay with it because this is what's coming. You know, when you think about the moon is the great mystery, and being able to participate in the mystery leads you to that manifestation on the earthly plane. This is what I'm hearing for you. The little gift that's been left among your branches. You know, what is showing up in its very new and embryonic state right now? What is showing up that you're thinking, oh, that seems like a little piece of treasure. I think I'm going to follow that. I think that I'm actually going to hold it in my hand and see what it brings to me.
She says, my husband.
Okay, I'm not getting anything about your husband. If you need to, you know what, why don't you reach out to me in private messenger, because I'm not sure that we're getting your question right. But I do stand by the energy of this card. New things on the earthly plane being delivered to you by the hands of the goddess, resting it in your branches, creating safe space for the potential treasures that are being held out to you right now. You know, accepting what's being offered, receiving it with graciousness. That's what the energy flow that I've got going for you right now. So if you need more on that, you're going to need to private message me and like really explain your question. Okay, do you have anybody?
I do.
Who?
I do. Marianne De La Cruz. She says she's thinking about putting in her 2 weeks notice. Will she be financially okay at her next job?
Marianne De La Cruz. I'm going to go with the traditional deck for you, Marianne. Hold on, I need one more card. I'm being told I need one more card. Sorry, it's a little slow going here. There we go. No? There we go. Okay. So what I've got for you, Marianne, is the 5 of Cups. So this is the card of disappointment, and it's followed by the Hermit. And what I'm hearing for you is think it over. Think about it. What is it that you're really looking for in this giving of the 2 weeks notice? You know, what problem are you trying to solve? And is it a problem that is focusing on what has been lost or disappointments? Or is it focusing on what's looming in the other direction? You know, do you have a place that you're going to go? Are you going to give 2 weeks notice and you've got some place to go after that? Or are you just doing it because somebody, like, you know, pissed you off or you don't like it? What I'm hearing is think it over, take it into the dark, sit with it, understand your motivations. Lean on some trusted friends and advisors. Where is the opportunity for you? You know, you don't want to just give your 2 weeks notice thinking that it's going to solve everything and then, you know, be dealing with disappointment and, you know, not being able to find your next spot to land. You know, so what I'm hearing for you is this, like, unless you have a plan, some other cup, something that's going to be more fulfilling waiting for you on the other side, you really need to think it over deeply and think about what's in your best interest right now. You know, you can start looking for a new gig without handing in your 2 week notice immediately. And I'm not even hearing that it's wrong for you to put in your notice. I'm just saying you've got to really think it over. Think it through. Think it through to the next right action. Don't be impulsive about it because you're disappointed. People are going to disappoint you at every single job you will ever have for the rest of your human existence. Disappointment will be part of the ley lines that you crossed. because nothing's perfect, okay? But think it over. What is in your deep belly of potential? And what is the best way to approach that? All right, that's what I have for you. All right, can we do one more, babe?
Yes, let's do pull one for Sin.
Sin Campbell. What deck?
How can she focus on her back problem? She's been hurting for 6 months. She's tried everything but lose a lot of weight. And she's not looking for medical advice, but she's wondering, is it more than physical?
Well, you know, Louise Hay has really good information about backs, and I only know this because I've had some back issues recently. Not recently, sort of ongoingly. I'm going to pull from the Modern Witch, but your back, your spine is, you know, that's your structure. That's your support structure. And it's also the location of your Kundalini energy. You know, starts right at the base of your spine, extending upward, all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, whatever you can do to sort of tap into your deep ancestral Imbolc wisdom, I think will support healing on lots of different levels, including the physical. But let's see what we get from the Modern Witches Tarot on this back problem. And what I have is the Three of Wands reversed. And this is going to sound really, really weird, but this is what I'm getting for you. Are you sitting around too much? Are you not being active enough? Are you not moving your body enough? And I know it's hard when you're in pain. And I'm not saying, you know, get on a treadmill and run 3 miles or anything like that, but just supported walking. Do you need a cane right now so that you feel good about moving more easily or stably? Do you need something to balance you? The Three of Wands upright is that, you know, great expansive Jupiterian energy. So I'm wondering if you're feeling a little too confined right now. Do you have cabin fever? Do you need to the ease and best of your physical ability, need to put yourself out there more? See new things, do new things, experience new things. And, you know, the movement of your body doesn't have to be this, like, I'm going to fix my body by moving it in this way. It's more like I need to get outside of my current feeling of constriction. And I need to have more expansiveness in my life. However you do that. You know, when your body's not feeling good, you can use your little devices to either retreat and make your world smaller or to expand things and make your world bigger. If you can physically get out there a little bit more, interact with other humans, other people, places, and things. It doesn't have to be just humans. Set your sights. Do something that's a little adventurous, perhaps, and see if it alleviates some of that tightness. I'm just getting a lot of tightness. So that always causes me to think, where is the inflammation in your system and what is the antidote? You know, maybe for me, when my body was hurting so much, I had to do a period of time with no gluten because gluten really inflames things. So think about where you can limit inflammation in your life as well. All right, sweetie?
I got one more.
Of course, Amy has one more.
And, you know, a lot of our wing witches have advocated for Shoneen.
Sure.
And Shoneen says that she's been through a lot through this extremely rough patch. She was envious, she was hurt, she was angry. In the hermit season, in the last 10 months, she's worked to shed a lot.
Mm-hmm. You've done good work.
Yep, toxic work, addressing physical health issues and releasing an abusive relationship to heal. And her question is, Am I coming out of the dark? Modern witch, please. Do you even need a tarot deck to answer that question?
Well, apparently I do.
Sister, you are.
So the first thing that we have is the Ace of Wands. Going back to the message today. Where is it? There it is, right on the bottom, of course. That is the Ace of Bows. That is the spark of life. Your fire is a little low right now. You've been through some shit, okay? You have. Acknowledge it. It's okay. It's okay that your light's a little dim right now. But look at the card that came out to greet it. That 10 of Pentacles. The legacy card. What have you fought so hard for? What is the return on your investment here? You know, where can you count your blessings? Where will you share them with your family? Both family of, or you know, family, blood family and family of choice. You know, where are you really feeling the opening, the great bestowing of the blessings? All right. Because if you want to focus on how your flame is dwindled, you know, you'll have plenty to focus on. We all do. It's Earth life. You know, and you've been through a really, really hard time. I'm not surprised that you have like little singe marks where you're trying to like rekindle your flame. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. In fact, it's the legacy. It's the beauty of what you're bringing forth right now is just remarkable. Stay with it. Stay with it. All right, my friends, I love and adore every fucking one of you. Love and adore you, love and adore you. And I am so glad that you stuck with me through my land of folly. And I don't know where things are going. Certainly, if you have insight and suggestions, bring it up to me. Be brave like Tasia was, okay? Be brave. I can handle it. Don't worry. Offerings, Celtic Cross readings to inspire your return to the labyrinth. Think about it. Is this an offering that calls to you? Do you want to learn the Celtic Cross spread in a deeper, more meaningful, Valerie-esque way? Think about those offerings if they call to you. Amy's going to be working to get them up on the website ASAP. So you can go to ValerieFriend.com. You can go to SpiritWings.live. Both will take you there. If you're local, consider coming to the full moon in Leo, self-love ritual and potluck dinner. And I think we have a couple rooms available at the B&B that weekend. So let me know if you want to book a little room here. And as always, I want to just take us back to the blessings of Imbolc. You know, Imbolc is next Saturday. Do a thing. Do a thing. Whatever you do, do something to hear that drumbeat of your remembered self. If your flame has been on low, ask it to be rekindled. If you have been, where is my third card here? If you've been feeling out of alignment, you've been feeling bullied, misunderstood, you haven't been understanding towards yourself, you're trying to make a shitstorm seem like a delicious banquet, rethink it creatively, exceptionally. You know, be the sovereign, take charge. Because we're being asked to choose right now. in the face of injustice, what are you going to weave into the strands of fate? How are you going to realign yourself with that hopeful star? How are you going to draw abundance and celebration of your fully functional flame and wrangle it out of the hands of the guardian reversed? Say, no, I'm not as scared of you. Okay? I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Tomorrow morning, morning cards with Melissa McIntyre Brown, and I'm going to see you for morning cards on Tuesday morning. So I love you.